Hello friends, a very warm welcome to Coding Techniques again. Today I am going to show you how to work with the swipe button once again, but this time we are going to use the gesture controller. Why I need to use that? Let me just show you, and with that being said, let's get started with our today's video. So now as you can see here, this was our previous project, and before starting I must tell you that if you haven't checked the previous video, you don't need to worry. I'll give a recap of whatever we have done. So before jumping into the code part, let me just show you what is the thing which we have done. So if I swipe it, it is getting swiped fully. All right, that is what we have done till now. Now there is a problem in our code that if I click anywhere else or touch anywhere else, it will still be swiped. That is the biggest problem that we are facing with this particular code here. So what is the code that we have implemented? Let me just start with the HTML for the beginners one for this particular video. So we have used an iron row here, to which we are given some margin. Basically I have a button, not exactly a button, a column here, in which I have given a background color of dynamic one, which we can change it from the TypeScript here. All right, where is it? This is the one, color one, which is by default primary one here in our case. Now after that, a div is being used where I am passing the text, which you can just see here, the swipe one, and I have given an absolute position to it in the SCSS. Well, let me just start with the iron column because this is designed like a button here. So where I've given a border radius of 50 pixel, display flags, and all the align items will be aligned to the center. That will be in Y direction, everything will be centered up. And to the div, I have given position to be absolute and width of 100% that was needed. Otherwise, well, if you're using somewhere else, what you can do is you can also use, instead of this, I think this one will also work. All right. So I think this one is better. You can try that up instead of width to be 100%. Okay. Now for the fab button, which is this particular button here, I have passed 3 iron icon and I given position to be relative and a slight transition so that it will be pretty smooth, okay, when we are swiping it. And an icon of position absolute is being given because I need to position the 3 icons pretty closely, which cannot be done with an iron icon passed directly here. And with iron icon, I just recalled one thing. If you're using a standalone project, you might face some problem with the iron icon right now, presently, and due to some URL issues or something. So I'm using an ng module project right now to show you how it can be done, like not the solution to that particular problem. We are going to look into that problem also sooner or later. If it is not fixed, then we will find some other ways to fix it up. For the time being, let's use this particular project here and understand how this swipe button can be implemented in a better way. Now this left and right class is being given to align this particular iron icons. So I'm just transforming in X direction in both the cases, negative X and positive X direction, and left and right to be 0, whichever cases is needed. So you can just try this up. Okay, this is the SCSS for that, and in the TypeScript, well, I'm just passing host listener all over the place. Or whenever you're touching it, it will start, and whenever you're moving your touch, it will keep on going, and as the touch ends, it will stop. That's how the thing is done here. So I will be doing it once again. That is why I'm not going to explain you this thing in detail. All right, so you have seen the problem now, right? So when I click here, it is still getting swiped. So we will change that with the help of GestureController. Let's get back to GestureController now, how you can implement GestureController, for which actually I need to have private gesture controller, or CTRL will be nice. Gesture controller. All right, imported. Now what I'll do, I'll just remove all the code, or let me just comment everything. Okay, let me just comment all the code here. Let's start it from the beginning now. I'm going to have an ng on init here, which I don't want to use actually right now. So ng on init, let me have it here in the implements one on init. Okay, this is the interface which we need. Host listener, I don't need it, and I don't want to use ng on init, but in fact I want to use ng after view init. So ng after view init, this is the one where I will call my function for gesture1, which is this particular function. So create swipe gesture, that is what we are going to call in our ng after view init. All right. Okay, now we are going to implement all the stuff within this particular gesture function. Okay. So at first, let me start creating a property called just swipe gesture. Okay. And give an exclamation sign here so that it is not null. But still the problem is there because it is not used anywhere. Don't need to worry. I'm just going to use it. This dot swipe gesture, but still the error is there. Let me give it of type any here. Yeah, now it's fine. That's going to be equals to this dot GestureController dot create. And this is how we are going to create that up. Now within which we will have EL, the element part, then the threshold, these three things. Element, which is going to be our swipe button. This is this particular button which is going to relate to our fab button one because we already have this swipe button here. Okay, this is the identifier which we are calling directly into our element ref by giving the element ref, and we are calling it directly here. Correct? So this is how it's being done. All right, why still this is not in use? Let me just remove it. I think then the problem will go away. Yeah, it's fine now. Okay, let's keep it in this particular way. So this is the basic swipe gesture which we have created. Now we need to do something for the events, right? And here, in order to detect whether the swipe gesture is being implemented or not, I've given a threshold value of 10 pixels. It's going to be in pixels, obviously. So if you move till 10 pixels, it will be detected that you are implementing this swipe gesture. That is why it is being given. Now, events will be passed. First of all, on start event will be passed, in which I'm going to handle the gesture. Well, I'll just pass swipe in progress to be true, which we have already done on touch start, right? The same way we will implement it here also. And what's next? Well, the next one will be on move. What exactly we are going to do on move? That's going to be same as on touch move. I'm just going to implement that. First, let me have another one. That's going to be on end. All right. So these are the events which will get triggered. So on end is like touch end here. Okay. So that is what we are going to implement. Let me just copy this code here and I will pass it in on end because that is what we need here. All right. And let me uncomment this particular function here because we will be needing this particular function. So I'll just cut it and paste it at the top in this particular way. And if you want to use await here, you need to pass async also. Let me pass it async. Fine. But on end, this is not applicable. So I need to remove it from here. I can't pass it. So this delay cannot be used here. Okay. Actually, in real case scenario, we don't need that. I was just trying to pass it. Let's try it without that. If I just remove this await, let's see. I don't think it's going to work, but we'll just skip it. Okay. So this thing is done. Now on move is left. So on move also, I'm just going to implement the same code here, which is this particular one. Copy it and I'm going to pass it here. All right. Let me uncomment it and align it properly. Now this thing will change. It's going to be detail dot delta x. So it will be detail dot delta x. And the same applies to our other one. Where is it? There also we have detail on end, which actually I'm not using it up. So I'll just leave it as it is. And in this particular case, everything will be sorted all together. I don't think I need to do anything else. If I try it now, let's see what happens. If I just swipe it, it's not moving also. Why is that so? Well, that's because we haven't enabled it. Well, at the very end of this particular one, I need to pass this dot swipe gesture dot enable to be true. Then only it's going to work. Okay. Now let's try it up. If I just swipe it, it's working. It's going up till here and it's getting back, right? Correct. But whether it is getting swiped or not, you are not able to understand, right? Let's check it here. So I'll just remove everything. And in order to check it up, what I'll do here is, if it is swiped, I will have a log here. Okay, I already have a log called swiped. That should work for us. Let's check it once again. Okay, this time I'm going to swipe it and it's not being done. Okay, now it is swiped. Let's try it once again. It is swiped. What about if I just take it up till here? No, it's not getting swiped. But I'm not happy with the transition part. So what I'll do, I'll go to the SCSS here, and this smooth transition, I'll just stop it because of that only it was not getting smooth. Now it is smoother, right? Let's try it once again. So I'll just remove everything, and this time if I just go for it, it's swiped. If I just get till here, it is not swiped. If I get till here, it is not swiped. If I get till here, it is still not swiped. Okay, what about this one? No, what's wrong here? I have to swipe till the end, okay? Because of the ion column, what am I doing here for the ion column? Let me just check it out. Is this taking the ion row as the parent one? I don't think so. Now let me just make few changes here in order to make it better. Now here, what am I going to do? I'm just going to check two conditions. Swipe in progress and detail.delta x should be greater than equals to 0, then only we are going to implement this up, because the value should be greater than 0, then only we will see that, okay, fine, it is swiping, right? Then only it will be in progress. Finally, this condition, well, not equals to, exactly it should be greater than equals to, because when we are swiping, it has to be greater than also sometimes. So now what will happen? Let's check it out. With these two conditions changed, let me just check it everything. So this time, if I just swipe it, let's check it out. Swiping till here. If I leave it, still it is not getting swiped until unless I get to the end. Is that the thing? If I just swipe till here, it is not getting swiped. So that is the case. In that scenario, what you can do is, let me just show you. Let me just have this to be a constant. All right. And I'm going to have this dot call width. It's going to be 15% smaller than the actual call width. Okay. Because we have given some margin or something here, right? So in that scenario, let's see what happens now. If I just take it and try it, just check it out. This time it is working for us. I have to get beyond that. All right. It is going till the end. That's great. I'm loving it. So I think this particular stuff, this 15% is working for me. So you can just 15% is subtracted from the actual one. That is what happened, because there is some margin here. That is why. And it is working for us. So you can just try this thing up. And this is where it works properly. Even if I click here, it won't get activated. Just check it out. Nothing is getting activated. So that is why this gesture controller is a better option to work with instead of the touch events. All right. Now let me implement a toast controller here just to show you everything is working fine or not. All right. Because since we cannot change the swipe to be swiped, actually the color and everything, because this is not working properly. So I'm going to remove, or let's keep it in the particular manner only. And I'm going to use a particular toast function here, in which, okay, I cannot use await here also. I think I need to use it somewhere else. But if I need to use await, why don't I use it here? I'll just cut this whole functionality and have a function here called change text. Just let's keep it in that particular manner only, and pause this functionality here. Okay. And I'll make this await, make it async. Fine. Now I think it might work. Let's pause this function here, this dot change text. Okay, and remove this toast controller because we don't need that. Okay, now if I try it, let's see what happens. Nothing is getting changed, but the swiping is being done. So I think this particular event is not getting triggered with this particular one. So that is one of the scenes that is working against us, but we don't need to worry about that. We can simply work with the toast controller once again. So I'll just have toast controller once again, and I'll have another function here. Let me have a function instead of that to be show toast message, and let me remove everything because I'm just going to pass everything here. So let's say swipe, color will be success. Okay, position will be middle. What all things I can pass? Top, bottom, and middle. I think middle will be better. What about this? Should be in as a string, and duration will be, let's say, 3 seconds. Fine. This particular function I'm going to pass it here, this dot toast show toast function. Okay, that should work for us. Let's check it out. If I just swipe it now, you can see at least this is working for us. So I hope you have understood how we have worked with this particular video. So with this, we have successfully implemented our swipe button with the gesture controller, which is a much better option to work with. So I hope you have understood how exactly things are being done and you enjoyed this particular video. If you have enjoyed it, make sure you hit the like button and do subscribe to the channel if you're new here. With that being said, I'll wrap up this video for the day. Thank you so much for watching and I'm going to see you next time.